Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's Angie, and today is Talk to Me Tuesday, which means I will be here twice today. Always fun. So I'll be here right now for half an hour or so, and then I'll be back for an hour at 1 p.m. Central Time. So yay for that. So while I'm pulling up my chat, let me just remind you that my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So it's taken a minute for my chat to come up. I'm sure it's coming on the way right now. I'm really excited. I've been working on this summit that I've only talked with you guys about. I haven't even really mentioned it in Span very much yet. Well, I guess we've mentioned it in Span, but I haven't publicly spoken about it except for here in these chats. And it's coming in September. We have an amazing lineup happening, so I'm excited about that. Ms. Jillian will be one of our amazing speakers, our attorney friend. Uh, so as will David, our detective friend. I feel like I have something on my lip. All right. So Malta says, good morning, welcome to Morning Coffee with Angie Atkinson, and I'm going to add and with Malta, and offers advice for anyone who is struggling with technical difficulties. Jillian says hello. Hello, Miss Jillian. Wally is here. Wally says good morning. Millie McLean is here. She says good morning. Good morning, Miss Millie, and welcome. Jay Meeby says good morning, sunshines. Good morning, Miss Jay Meeby. How are you? And oh, Tommy did make it. Tommy made it. Tommy D is here. He says good morning, darlings. Brianda Pondexter is here. She says hi all. Hey, Brianda. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Tammy Kingery is back in the house. Hey, Tammy, how you doing, honey? And she says, good morning, Angie and Malta. Misty Trinkle is here. She says, good morning, Angie. Love your new song. Oh, thank you. It was so fun. I'm working on an Ice Ice Baby one right now for next week or for this week, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Guardian Wolf is here. She says, good morning. Good morning, Miss Guardian Wolf. How are you? Trish Meyerly in the house. Hey, Trish. How you doing, honey? She says, good morning, Angie and everyone. Tammy Kingery says, good morning, Tommy. Oh, Rebecca Horst is here. Becky, how you doing? She says, sleepy, but good morning. Hey, I love a good morning. Good morning, miss. And Tommy D says, love your look today. Pretty in pink. I do love me some pink, let me tell you, and thank you. I know you guys are shocked. Jillian says, good morning, all. Oh my gosh, 2 hours of sleep for me. Goodness. Time to set some boundaries with my work or consider something else. Sleep is a human need and I deserve it. Darn right. And 2 hours of sleep is not enough. It's certainly not, Jillian. And I totally agree with you. It's time to set boundaries at work. I have the same problem sometimes. I'm sure it's a different issue, but I certainly have the same problem sometimes. I have to force myself to go to bed on time. But I could work for 24/7 and still never be done. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Kelly Pixie is here. Good morning, Kelly, and welcome. I haven't seen you here before, I don't think. Happy to have you. She says, good morning. Malta says, good morning. Oop. Dang, I hate when I lose my spot. Hold on, let me get to it. All right, Malta says good morning to myself. Good morning to Jillian, Tommy, Jamie B, Guardian Wolf, and good morning to everyone. Elizabeth Gregory is in the house. Good morning, Elizabeth. Christina Petro says, good morning, Angie. You look so pretty. Thank you so much, my love. Leslie Davis says, good morning. Good morning, Miss Davis. How are you? Tommy D says, good morning, Tammy. Jamie B, really? Millie? Sounds like a rap. Really, really, really? Okay. Trish Marley says, I have my spirit back. I love me. Awesome. I love that. Misty Trinkle says, I am still divorcing my narc husband. He is spying on me in the house with hidden GoPros and all kinds of wacky stuff. Ugh. Trish, Misty, I think that's terrible. I'm so sorry. How much is he still living in the house or is he just spying on you in the house? Guardian Wolf says, thanks, Malta. Tommy D says, Malta. Vanessa Lopez is in the house. She says, hi, y'all. Hey, Vanessa. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Sarah Dean is here. Hey, Sarah. She says, hi, Angie. Good afternoon from Sarah in the UK. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Tony Chavez is here. Good morning from Miami, Florida. Hey, girl. Hey, I bet it's beautiful there today. Guardian Wolf says, and good morning to Malta. Let's see. Tommy D says, hi, Miss Lopez. Stop the Chaos says, morning, Angie. I can't relax. Some days I still feel the other shoe is going to drop. I'm trying everything, but not at peace with the peace yet. Any suggestions? Yeah, it is hard, isn't it? When you've been dealing with the chaos, as it were, for such a long time, it almost feels like the norm. And at first, it's a big relief, right? But then when you keep moving um, forward, sometimes you're like, well, now what? Right? So one of the things I would suggest stop the chaos is go to my website, queenbeing.com, and pick up the passion planner. Just go to queenbeing.com/passion and you'll find it. And that will help you to kind of get some ideas for what you really do want in your life. I think one of the things that we most struggle with when we find ourselves free of narcissists is we don't really know what we want, because we've spent so much of our lives trying to take care of other people's needs that even if we think we know what we want, we don't really know what we want. So one of the things I suggest is trying to figure out what you're passionate about, what means something to you, and start to engage in that. And that passion planner will help you do exactly that. So I suggest that. That's one place to start. Another thing you might want to do is change it up a little bit. Consider moving stuff around the house, rearrange the rooms, maybe buy yourself, I don't know if you were there that day, but I showed you guys one time this candle holder that I have. It's a little mosaic candle holder, and I purchased it right after I left my ex-husband. Well, not right after, but as soon as I purchased my home, after I left him. And to me, it was kind of a freedom object. It only cost me like $8 because I was pretty broke back then. But it was beautiful, and I loved it. I still love it. Now it sits on my entryway table, kind of to remind me, of what of the current situation being better than the past. So maybe find yourself a little freedom object like that. I would suggest writing down your thoughts, your feelings, anything, but try that passion planner. I think that might really help you. I'd love to hear what you think about it after you try it. Susan Cronert says, summer is flying by. Hi, all. Oh yeah, you guys, my kids went to school today for the first day of the year. It's so, it's so crazy. They're in fourth. My two youngest are in fourth and eighth grade now. And boy, I tell you, time flies when you're raising babies. My oldest is 20. Anyway, Sue Cronner. Oh, I already said that. Anyway, okay. Timothy Geiser says, good morning, everyone. Hopefully we all have a wonderful day. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Guardian Wolf says, Angie, you were right. What was I right about, honey? Elizabeth Gregory says, good morning. And she's new to this channel. Thank you. My pleasure, Elizabeth. Welcome. I'm happy to have you. And let's see here. Lisa Kilmer is here. She says, good morning. Good morning, Lisa. How are you, honey? Malta McMurtry says, good morning to Tammy. Rick Mash is in the house. Hey, Rick, how you doing? He says, good morning, fam. Happy to see you back, honey. Shelly Thomas says, hey, Angie and Survivors. Hey, Shelly, did you send me that email yesterday? Just curious. Okay, wait a minute. I lost my place. We'll get to it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. We'll find it. Okay. Shelly Thomas says, hey, Angie and Survivors. Hey, Shelly. Trish Meyerly says, no contact was the key to break free. You look beautiful and pink. Thank you. And I totally agree with you. On both? No, I'm just kidding. I totally agree with you on the no contact being the key to breaking free. It really does make a difference. Yeah. When you can. Yeah. Kelly Pixie says, Angie, my narcissist husband yesterday started a 1-year jail time violation restraining order. And he was cheating. Think he will leave me alone now? I would love to say yes, Miss Kelly. I think you need to be really careful still. As long as he's in jail, I'm sure you'll be safe. Oh, he'll get jail time if he violates, is what you're saying. Yeah, he might leave you alone for now. But I would be very prepared. Watch your back and make sure that you document any sort of suspicious activity or any contact attempts. If he makes any contact attempts that you're sure it's him, definitely reach out to the police and let them know, because they don't have good boundaries, as we all know. So Malta McMurtry says, good. Welcome to I can't talk, y'all. Says, welcome to Elizabeth Gregory. Cayenne Campbell is here. Hey, Cayenne, how you doing? Says, hello, lady in pink. You look amazing, Angie. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bonnie says, good morning, Angie and Tribe. Good morning, Miss Bonnie. How you feeling today, honey? Guardian Wolf says, Raven's dad still rejects her even though she looks like him. Yeah, sweetie, and that's terrible for Raven and for you. But here's the positive here. First of all, that probably won't last. But if it does, you have a certain opportunity here. You can raise her in the way that you know is best, in the way that is best for you, and do your very best to keep her happy. Now, I'll tell you, when you get to the part where she goes, why don't I have a dad? That happened to me with my oldest because he was 16 months when I left my ex-husband, and he saw him once after that, I think, and that was it. Um, it was difficult. I had gone to a therapist, and the therapist said to me that I should tell him at 4 years old that his father had the right to see him but chose not to. And after much discussion and thought, I did tell him, and it was very difficult. We both cried. But the therapist said to me that I should tell him that because he needed to not resent me and think that I was the one keeping him away, because I wasn't. It was his own choice. And so as she gets older, that might be something you can do. In the meantime, she's not going to miss him. All right. She's only going to know you and anybody else that's in your life. And so just be the best mom you can be, love her, be there for her, and make sure that she knows that she's loved. And that's the very best thing you can do for her. You know, be the mom that you wish you would have had for her. My suggestion. Marshall Hill says, hey, Angie, I have two sons, ages 19 and 13. My ex came back for the weekend because the eldest moved into dorms for the semester. She's unleashed a vicious smear campaign and included my sons in her lies. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. That is horrible. And I... So are you the one raising the sons, or does she have the sons now? Where are they? Well, I guess the one is already off in college, but who's got your 13-year-old primary custody, Marshall? Leslie Davis says, hey, Ange, I have no sound on my end. Oh, no. Can you guys hear me? Let me check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see. I assume, yes. Okay. I know some people can because Guardian Wolf said okay. All right. I'm glad that was, I hope it was a little bit helpful for you, Guardian Wolf. I know it's not perfect, but I hope it helped a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Now I just have to refine my place. Okay. Leslie Davis. Leslie Davis says no sound. Can somebody let Leslie know to refresh her screen and see if that helps? Gail Catrice says, good morning, all. Feeling good today. Good morning, Miss Gail Catrice, and welcome back. Happy to have you. Between says, good morning, but morning isn't good. You're right. MOURNING, morning isn't good. How are you feeling otherwise? Are you feeling good? Or are you in morning right now? Between. Rick Mash says, sleep is an issue for me also. For the past 2 years, 2 to 4 hours a night if I'm lucky. That's terrible, Rick, and I really do feel worried about that. I think part of your problem might be that you're still in the middle of it. But you know, you have to find some peace so that you can sleep. It's very important for your health. And you know, you need to be there for that beautiful baby girl. So keep that in your mind, my friend. Tommy D says, I couldn't miss my wonderful thrivers. Wakey, wakey, it's a brand new day. Tommy, I absolutely love your energy. It is so positive. Martin Hill says, good morning, all. I'm interested in the summit. Who will be speaking? Well, hey, Martin. I'm not announcing that yet. Jillian will be speaking. She'll be one of the people, as will David H., who is in this chat sometimes. He's a police detective, and as you guys know, Jillian is an attorney. We also have a large number of other speakers who will be announced very soon. I'm just putting together the final touches on stuff today, and you will start to hear about it probably later today or tomorrow, officially. Martin Hill says, oh, I already said that one. Okay. And I will keep you guys posted on that. You will be able to view it for free as long as you watch it live. So I'll publish a schedule on that. And we'll also do we'll probably also do a list where everybody can text in, to be notified as the sessions are live, if that's of interest. Yeah. Rachel Campbell says, good morning, Angie, catching you before therapy. Well, I'm happy to see you, Miss Rachel. I hope you're doing well today, and I'm glad that you're on your way to therapy. I always think that's helpful. Well, it is when you have a good therapist. Sue Kessler says, hi, Angie and everyone. Hey, Sue, how you doing, honey? Elizabeth Gregory says, thank you, Malta. Teresa Trumke's back in the house. She says, morning, Angie and everyone. Glad to be here. You're like family to me. Ditto, girl. I hope you're feeling good today, Teresa. Malta McMurtry says to Leslie Davis, would you be able to refresh? Thank you, Malta. Let's see. Bonnie says, are male narcissists often misogynist too, or those two terms almost interchangeable? Up to a point, but female narcissists can be very cruel as well, as we all know. So something to think about. Certainly, regardless of their sex, narcissists are incredibly without, they lack empathy to the point that they often do things to hurt people who claim to love them, or who they claim to love. And those are, usually mental injuries, or emotional injuries, but sometimes also physical injuries. Rachel Campbell says, I love the pink, Angie. Thank you, Miss Rachel. I know we're right here on that pink thing, aren't we? Stop the Chaos says, I want to be on the other side of the mountain you always talk about. Some days I pull it off, but there are more days when I don't. Why? How long? I'm grateful, but it's not enough some days. I totally feel you. It is a process. And you know what? I'm working on a video that I think will help with that in the next few days. Because we get to this place where we feel just hopeless. And when you get there, it feels so hard to climb, like you said, get over the mountain. But it is feasible. It can happen. And I will be doing a video on how to get through those parts. Okay. Stop the Chaos. And if you would like to email me, specifically what you're struggling with, I will be sure to include those things in the video, how to deal with them specifically. But gratitude is always a place to start. Shelly Thomas says, I got into it with the narc again, keep standing up for myself, and he continues with the deflection and total lack of accountability. I've known I need to get away for a while, but it's hard. I need support. Shelly, I totally feel you. And if I remember correctly, you were the person that was posting in Span. I'm very concerned about your safety. So I hope that you haven't been physically attacked again. If you do need support, I want to try to find some resources for you in your area. Sue Kessler says, Saturday was a nightmare for me. Depressed, crying, anxious. It was like I fell into a hole and it was filling up around me. Yeah, and I think that's exactly where Stop the Chaos is right now, a little bit. It's the same kind of, pain. It's almost like you almost feel desperate and hopeless. And it's not that you're desperate to get a person or anything like that. It's about feeling alone in the world. It's about, like you said, depressed, crying, anxious. And I've been there. And I've been there. And it's really hard. But what you have to do, and I know it sounds simple, you have to start to focus. And now, if you're going through your mourning process, do it if you need to do it, okay? But at some point, you need to start to focus on what you want and not what you don't want, and what you can control and not what you can't control. And remember that whatever you're focusing on, you're bringing more of that into your life. What you talk about, what you think about, you bring about. It's a fact. So if you want to change the vibration of your life, of yourself, in order to bring better things into your life, start thinking about what you want and not what you don't want. What you have, not what you don't have. And if it's stuff that you don't have that you're thinking about, be thinking about things that you want, not things you don't want, because it sounds so simple, but it really makes a huge difference. It really does, my friend. Try it out. Between says Healing Tuesday. Absolutely, miss. And let's see here. Where was I? I lost my place. Here it goes. Tommy D says, when are we all going to get together and dance, baby, dance? Yes, I'm all over that. I really think we should consider doing one of these get-togethers at some point, a meetup somewhere. And, if y'all want to come to St. Louis, it could work. Lisa Kilmer says, I had a fantastic sales day yesterday after a hard week last week. But now I know that my county court system isn't going to deal with this crap, and that makes me feel awesome. Hey, that's great, Lisa. I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations on both counts, girl. Morning, Teresa, says Jamie B. She says, I feel the same. After so many years of being isolated, I don't have friends, and you are in real life, and you are all my friends. That happens to a lot of us. A lot of us find ourselves just in this place. And that's part of the reason that I do what I do, because not only do we need knowledge about what we're dealing with, but we also need information about how we can reconnect in the world. And until, yes, Bonnie, the Queen Being website is back up. We don't, we are all isolated by the narcissist a lot of the time, because the narcissist wants us to, to depend on them. They need to have complete control over us. So yeah, that's the thing. And I'm so happy, Jamie B, that you're here with us. You're such a big, important part of this group. Guardian Will says, I tried to be compassionate and let go of my bitterness. Raven's dad is still 100% she isn't his. I hate when they do that. You can get I don't know what your financial situation is, but if you're getting any sort of help from the state, I know that they will do free DNA tests to make him admit they can force him to do a DNA test and it won't cost you. So you might, at least in my state, they do that. You might check around. I have a friend who went through this and hadn't even been with anyone else. And yeah, so give it a shot. Bonnie, yes, the website's back up. Sue Kessler says, no word from my narc husband, 57 days. Sad that he isn't hoovering. Is that weird? No, Sue, it's not weird. It's normal. But don't count him out yet. I can't tell you how often I hear this from people, and then a week or 2 weeks or a month or a year later, they're like, okay, you were right. He came back and hoovered, or she came back and hoovered. It's a thing. And my guess is right now he's probably, got enough attention from family, friends, or whoever. And yeah, that's a thing. So I don't think it's weird that you're sad. I think it's normal that you're sad. I think none of us would want to admit it, but all of us probably hoped that they would try to hoover us at least, so that maybe we would think that they really did care or they really did want us back. But the fact of the matter is, he might just be more stubborn than some people too, is the other thing. Mavis Washington says, good morning, Angie. Good morning. Good morning, Mavis. How are you, honey? Hope you're feeling well today. Jamie B says, yes, Tommy. Tommy says, great, Lisa. Freedom Lee. Oops, wait a minute. Freedom Lee is in the house. She says, good morning, Angie, and beautiful thing. Thank you, my love. She says, miss you yesterday, but listen later. Great stuff, y'all. Help me through my day. I'm so glad to hear it, Freedom Lee, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Thanks for coming in. Bonnie says, I'm definitely going to look into that passion planner. Yeah, absolutely. Look into it, Bonnie. It's free. You don't even have to sign up for the site. It's just free. I know, look, I'm going to be really straight up with you guys. I know a lot about marketing because I used to do marketing back in the day when I first started doing my own business. I had to do something to help, pay the bills. And and the thing is, it's really terrible the way that I give away stuff because I give it away. I don't require you to sign up for it or anything. But I do that for a reason because I am a survivor. And I know that sometimes it's not really that cool for you to get an email that, somebody might see, or sometimes you feel overwhelmed by emails and stuff. So I don't always require you to sign up for things to get my freebies. But whatever. I want to make sure that you guys get what you need. I do what I do for, obviously I need to make money too, but at the same time, it's really important to me that I serve you guys more than anything else. So that's why, obviously I don't get paid to be here every morning, and YouTube has been a little ridiculous with their monetization lately, but we're not worried about that anymore, are we? My point is, it's silly the way I do it, but it is totally free without any sign up required. So Kelly Pixie says, yes, I rearranged and threw out the couch. Yes, very good. And got a new one, and my home is now reflective of me. That's exactly why you do it, Kelly, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. Good job, honey. Stop the Chaos says, some days I'm trying so hard to fill the time to take care of myself. It's a lot of work and sometimes exhausting. It makes me sad because it feels so forced. I guess I just miss him today. Sweetie, I feel you. I do. And it's okay if you need to take a day to just be sad. It's okay to do that. It hasn't been that long for you, but I want you to, in the same breath, understand this. Sometimes if it feels forced, slow down a little bit. Sometimes if it feels fake, just realize that sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. You have to learn how to love yourself in the same way that a good mother would have loved you. And sometimes we don't know what that feels like because we didn't have good mothers, but you can imagine the kind of mother you needed. You can think of a friend who had a good mom and the way that mom treated that friend or something like that. Maybe your grandma was good to you. Love yourself in the same way that a good mother would have or should have loved you. It sounds weird, but it really helps a lot. Just think about this. If your child or your friend or your best friend's child or whoever some young person that you're close to came to you and told you the same thing that you're feeling and dealing with, what would you tell that person? And that's the same kind of stuff you should tell yourself. Does that make any sense? Tina Martin says, good morning, loves. Thought it was an alarm to wake me up for our live chat. Nope, it was my narc harassing me. Oh, no. Cried over him last night. And wake up to 7 effing bitch text. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it never ends. And one thing you could do, Miss Tina, is to block him from your phone. If you're dealing with children, you can get one of those apps. I did a video the other day about 7 different apps you could get to communicate with a narcissist about children, and other stuff. Even there's one of them even focused on child support, and all of them are, or most of them, I think, are admissible in court. So get an app like that so that anything he says to you, you have a record of. And if you're not dealing with children, block his ass. Pardon my language. Kelly Pixie says it works. Yes, ma'am, it does. Shelly Thomas says, maintaining my mental health is crucial to getting the resources necessary to get to a better situation. But it's very challenging and met with so many obstacles with living with a narc. I'm really struggling. Shelly, I absolutely feel you. And I'm so sorry that you're stuck in that mess. What do you have a job? What do you do for a living if you have a job? If you don't have a job, what do you want to do for a living? Let's talk about that really quick. Tammy Kingery says, Angie, I'm still in the middle of a divorce with a narc. I got sucked in soon after with another one right after I left my husband. I went no contact yesterday for the third time. I pray I don't cave. Okay, everybody, send strong positive energy to Tammy today because she needs a little boost, and Shelly too. And also to stop the chaos. I want you all to feel loved today, and I want you all to know that you're not alone today. And I want you to remember this, okay? Tammy, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I want you to write down, while it's fresh in your mind, I want you to write down all the reasons that you went no contact. And I want you to stick it in a drawer and keep it in case you feel weak later, okay? It helps. Marshall Hill says, my kids have started to recognize her lies, and my 13-year-old asked, how could she just ignore me when I called her out on an obvious lie? Well, Marshall, that's a good thing that your 13-year-old asked that question. Now you're going to need to step up and really support your children emotionally. And I know that you're probably already doing that since you're in that situation, but just in case, back up the kids and, let them know mom has some problems. I'm sure she loves you as much as, well, I mean, you don't want to say that as much as she's capable, but I'm sure she loves you. She just has some problems. Dad's always going to be here for you. Just be the rock that they need you to be, even though I know you're in pain, but being a parent sometimes gives us crazy superpowers at our darkest times. So use those superpowers, my friend. You know how we could lift a car off our baby if it was on top of our baby? Think about it. Use your superpowers. Be the father that they need. I'm really impressed with you and proud of you for standing by them as you have. That's really, really good. Every parent that does that, I think, deserves kudos. Tommy D says it's a slow process. Release from Narcville takes time. Be easy on yourself and take it all slow. I totally agree, Tommy D. Emily Driftwood says, hey, everyone. Hope everyone is doing and feeling well. Yes, Miss Emily. How are you? I haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you're doing well. Excuse me. Sue Kessler says, he stuck me with my engagement ring payment? Oh, my gosh. $2,000? Can you return that crap? Sorry, not that it's crap, but still, that's really crappy of him to do that. I mean, oh, my gosh. Oh, Sue, I'm so sorry, honey. Freedom Lee says, I bought myself a freedom ring. I love it. Oh, look, I don't know. This is old, but this one right here, this is a little queen, little crown. A few years ago, I bought my daughter a little princess crown, and I bought myself a little queen crown ring just for fun. They're not very expensive, but they're so cute. But I'm glad you did that. I think that's excellent, Freedom Lee. I would love to see a picture of it. Lanny Slow says, good morning, Angie and all fellow survivors. Good morning, Lanny Slow. How are you? Shelly Thomas says, what email? ANGYAtkinson@gmail.com. Shelly, I was hoping that you would email me a location so that I could try to help you find some resources where you live. I think that will be really helpful. I have a group called The Collective that actively helps to locate resources in your areas, wherever you live, if you need them. And I think in your case, you need them. Help. I think you need some help getting out of there. And if there's anything we can do, even if it's just to provide you some resources in your area, that I think that would be really good, because I know your situation is especially dangerous, dire. You know what I'm saying? So Malta says to Tina, I'm so sorry to hear it, and I wish better times ahead for you. Thank you, Malta. Misty Trinkle says, I'm right there with you, Shelly. I'm so stressed going through divorce and trying to find healthy ways to relieve stress. I feel you, Misty, and I, you know what? So many of us in here in this room today are in pain, and I want everybody to just, big virtual hug right now and send out that positive energy to each of our survivors. I know it sounds silly, but I really think it helps. I really do. Um, and Misty, big hugs to you, my friend. Um, Marshall Hill says she has tried to gain access to my apartment the whole weekend, dropping my son off when she knew I wasn't home. Can I use the bathroom? I told her if she was asking to use the bathroom. He said, I told her if she stepped foot in my home, I'd have her arrested. Oh, honey. So, but she wasn't allowed in, was she? She didn't get in? What is she trying to do you think? Sue Kessler says she has $2,000 left to pay on the ring, broke as heck and frustrated and sad. Can you return the ring, or have you already paid too much on it so far? And you can't sell it? Is that what you're saying? Do you know if is it worth enough that you could get at least what you wanted out of it? Just curious. Tina Martin says to Marshall, it isn't crazy. It's just deliberate lies. So many of them. Isn't it crazy? Yeah, totally, totally. And she says, thanks to Malta. Tommy D. Let's see. Gail Catrice says, a freedom ring. Awesome idea. I love that idea. I think it's a really good idea. Excuse me. Marshall Hill says, I'm so angry that she has hurt and abandoned the kids. I'm kind of pissed off for you, Marshall. He says, she sold 20 years of my life, and knowing she never really loved me, I was just nearly the perfect supply. I'm just still so angry about it all. Absolutely. It's painful and it's horrible, and you don't deserve that. I'm so sorry that you've gone through this. I totally feel you. I wish that, we could physically hang out, y'all. Leslie Davis says, good. Let's see here. Tommy D says, stand strong, Marshall. And Sue Kessler says, his PO called me Friday to ask me where he was. I gave him his mom's phone number, as he is probably there. He was supposed to transfer his probation when he left, but I guess he didn't. Well, Sue Kessler, he might find himself in trouble then, and that's not your fault. So good for that. Everything, karma sometimes. Yes. Tina Martin says, has anyone utilized Meetup? Yeah, I think Meetup is a great thing for meeting new people. We have not used it for my stuff yet, but I've thought about it. I just figured nobody'd want to come all this way, honestly. Stop the Chaos says, I've just joined a divorce support group. I make lists. I try to do things for myself. That's a good start. She says, today nothing is working. Mourning the loss of what I thought I had. Of what I thought I had. It's a lot to process the man he actually is. Stop the Chaos, have you done the thing where you did make the list of the reasons that you left, right? I'm just curious. Maybe you want to get out of the house for a little while today if you have time, if you feel up to it. If not, take the time that you need to mourn and let your feelings happen. We're so used to shoving our feelings down after we've been with narcissists because they don't really like the way our feelings make them feel. Either they ignore them, or they feel offended by them, or they're like, how dare you make me feel bad about stuff, depending on the narcissist. So maybe you need to just let your feelings happen today. Just set an end date on it. Don't let yourself cry forever, but sometimes you need to cry it out, and it's okay if you do. It is. Marshall says, understanding her pathology made so many things make sense. Thank you for providing this platform and helping me heal. It's my pleasure, Marshall. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Tommy D says, anger is okay, Marshall. Part of the process of realizing that we've been duped. Absolutely the truth. Yes. Christina Andrews. Hey, Christina Andrews. How are you, honey? She says, new to chat. Welcome. She says, but you are teaching me a lot. I have no tangible proof, but enough to know that my covert narc is cheating. Now he is being so nice. How to respond to this? Well, Christina, the way I suggest that you deal with it, if you're planning on leaving, I would suggest let him be nice to you. Just pretend like everything's fine. And as long as he thinks everything's fine, it's going to be a lot easier for you to move forward. But it is harder when they're being nice, isn't it? But if you know he's cheating, and if you're like me, cheating is a deal breaker, I would be getting your eggs in your basket and getting ready to move on, my love. Something to think about. Bonnie says, why does the narc keep you in limbo when you are still married to them and already tried to ask them honestly, do you want to stay together or what? Why silence after that? Well, I think in this case, the silence is regarding the fact that he doesn't really want to let go of you. He wants you to stay around for possible future supply. There could be other reasons. It could be because he doesn't really know what he wants to do. And as Becky said in my comments yesterday, he wants to keep the status quo and he's not ready to make those changes yet. So there are lots of reasons that could be happening. I hate limbo. I do. I used to experience limbo on a regular basis, and there's another kind where they, like if you, oh, we're supposed to go to this family reunion or my high school reunion or some big party that I have to RSVP to. Are you going to come with me? And they're always like, well, I don't know. I don't know. And you know that sometimes you can't go without them because even if they say you can, you'll pay for it later. And so you end up either not going at all or not RSVPing on time or whatever. And same deal, limbo, very frustrating. You can't plan around limbo, can you? Yeah. I would say, Bonnie, that if you decide, do you want to stay together or what? You know what I'm saying? Don't let him decide. It's your choice. Your choice. You don't have to just let somebody else pick your life for you anymore. Okay? Shelly Thomas says, Misty, with my increased consciousness, it's so hard. Oh my gosh, I know. To ignore living with to ignore the effects of living with toxic people. She says, the effects living with toxic people have had on my body. I don't want to ignore myself anymore. I can't wait to escape. Shelly, I'm with you. And I'll tell you something. That increased consciousness is difficult, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing and also a horrible thing because sometimes it would be easier to be in the dark and not know what these people were and not know what you were dealing with. But the fact is, enlightenment is power. Knowledge is power. Understanding what you're dealing with is power. It is. Yes. Emily Driftwood says, my ex-narc tried to provoke me by bad-mouthing my father. All else has failed because I've been able to maintain no contact for months, but it looks like he's pulled out the big guns now. Oh, boy. Well, wait, she says, luckily I finally blocked him. She says, this made me so angry. I got all hot and furious. I am expecting him to show up at my door. This guy practices hoovering. Wait a minute, I lost my place. I hate when I do this. Sometimes the messages pop down without my permission. Okay. Oh, I found it. Okay. Emily, she says, this makes me so angry. I got all hot and furious. I'm expecting him to show up at my door. This guy practices hoovering along with the torture. Do these snakes ever stop? No, ma'am. Be prepared to call the police if he shows up at your door. Certainly going after your father is pulling out the big guns. It's the same deal. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. It's the same deal. Basically, just like you said, he pulled out the big guns because he wasn't getting a response with the usual stuff. This is something they do. Some narcissists, when you first start to gray rock them, they do exactly what Emily's did. They reach out, they reach deep. They dig deep. They look for what they know will cause you to respond. They look for what they know will hurt you the most, the deepest. It's really terrible. Emily, I hope that you did not respond, or if you did respond, I'm glad that you blocked him. And I'm glad that you're moving forward now. They will absolutely try to hoover you. They will alternate it with torture. Yeah, they have no respect. Yeah, Guardian Wolf says, thank you. I hope that was helpful, Guardian Wolf. Malta says, audio is good. Okay, Millie can hear me. Very good, very good. Okay. Bonnie says, if they want to be single, you are trying to give them out civilly. Yeah, I feel you. But you, my friend, get to be, you can decide. I know that you might not want to be single, but you also don't want to be abused. So I always used to say, like Whitney Houston used to say back in the day in that song, I'd rather be alone than unhappy. I still feel that way today, and I'm not joking. I would always choose alone over miserable. Yes. Alone doesn't mean miserable. It doesn't mean lonely. It just means you're not attached to a person. and that's okay for a while. Sometimes we need to take the time to learn to love ourselves a little more and do more for ourselves. Yeah. Christina says she can hear me. Very good. Okay. Tina Martin says to stop the chaos. Yes, a constant grieving for a stranger and someone you love that never existed. Absolutely. And it's so painful. And, you have all the memories in your head throwing you off, well, they were so sweet when this happened and they were so sexy when that happened and so nice when that happened. But there were so many, the fact of the matter is, I always say, the tipping point is 51%, right? If they're 51% good, then you can maybe tolerate the rest. But they have to be, to me, it has to be a majority. It has to be like, 60, 40, 70, 30, where, and some of that can't be abuse in the other percent. You might be annoyed that they don't take out the trash, or you might be annoyed that, they snore or stuff like that. But, when they're actively abusing you, there's no excuse for that. And that's nothing that you want to go back to. You don't deserve it. You really don't. Good morning, Carlita Vega. Oh, yeah, Carlita Vega will be one of our speakers as well. Christy Piper, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Carlita, Jillian, and one of our other people who chooses to remain anonymous were co-authors on my most recent book as well. Christy Piper says to Tina Martin, I used a meetup.com to meet almost all of my friends when I moved to a new city. Thank you for sharing this, Christy. Not NARC survivor meetups, but just topics I'm interested in. And it can be a great way to meet people. Yeah, I totally agree. And, obviously do your homework and make sure, but certainly I've seen and I've recommended meetup.com to many of my clients when they're going through this, because again, everybody who is abused by a narcissist, I would say 99% of the people, 95% of the people are isolated from people in their lives outside of the narcissist, sometimes even from their families, but almost always from their friends. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing that, Christy. I think that's really valuable. Shelly Thomas says, oh my God, Emily, I hear you, hun. The PTSD from these people is debilitating. It really is. But remember, knowledge is power. When you can recognize what you're going through, even though it's still scary, it certainly helps. It does. Yeah. Bonnie says, thank you, Angie. I'm a little better today. I'm really glad to hear that, Bonnie. I really am. Shelly Thomas says, hi, Carlita. Nick Bro is in the house. Hey, Nick Bro, how you doing? Says, good morning, Angie and Tribe. Guardian Wolf says, I keep forgetting that Raven's father isn't normal. Oh, honey, wouldn't it be great if he could be normal? I mean, I totally get it. And I know it must be hard for you right now because, you want to share your baby with the baby's father sometimes. Guardian Wolf just had this baby, a month ago, Guardian Wolf? And not even, just over a month ago. And this baby, you guys who have had babies remember, I'm sure, how emotional you feel during the beginning of a child's life and how excited and scared you are and how much sleep you don't get. And when you're not getting enough sleep, it also helps to mess with your emotions. Remember that, Guardian Wolf. Do your very best. Just sleep when you can. If you have the option, sleep when to sleep when Raven is sleeping, sleep when Raven is sleeping for a while. Tommy D says, let me see. Observe, don't absorb technique worked well for me. Yep, I totally agree. That's a good one. It's absolutely just look at it, let it happen, feel it, but don't let it, when it comes to the abuse, observe, don't absorb, don't let it come into you. Just let it kind of roll over you, roll off your back, so to speak. Shelly Thomas says, Bonnie, keeping you guessing is how they manipulate you. Yes, ma'am. That's another way. That's absolutely the truth. Bonnie says, having immune system problems because of the huge amount of stress and solant treatments and walking on eggshells. I feel you, Bonnie. I know. B12 might help. I'm using this. One of my clients told me how important B12 was for her, and I did some research and I found out it was really important for all of us. So it promotes energy, supports a healthy nervous system, and lots of other things. Prevents certain types of breakouts and stuff like this. Anyway, I got this. It's just something I bought on Amazon, and I find it to be really helpful. So that might be something you think about. Again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not recommending anything. Always talk to your doctor first. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Disclaimers and whatnot. Okay. Yeah. Tina Martin says, Christy Piper, thank you. I'm thinking of using it for NARC survivors. It's a great way to start. And also not just NARC survivors. You know what? Also look into other things you're interested in, because yes, absolutely NARC survivors are going to have the same kind of they're going to be people you can relate to for sure. But everybody's different, and sometimes you need to focus on moving forward and not staying focused on what you don't want. So just not just for narc survivors is what I'm saying. Yes, that's a good group to start with, but also consider um, going for other things. If you like bike riding, playing softball, reading. I mean, there's just about a meetup for everyone. You know what I mean? Every kind of interest, knitting clubs. I mean, you couldn't believe it. There's lots of things. Jessica Wrangle's in the house. She said, "Good morning, everybody." Good morning, Miss Jessica. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? Mavis Washington says, "Putting my finances in order now is working great. Narcs destroy your money, don't they?" Yeah, I've done several videos on financial abuse, and it's a real deal. It's a real thing. I'm sure some of us in here can recommend on that. Can relate to that. Sorry. Um, let's see. Shelly Thomas says, "Bonnie, I totally get it. I seriously need to get out for my health on every level." Yeah, Shelly, you do. You do. Muffy Lewandowski. Hey, Muffy, how you doing? She says, "Not feeling today is a very good day to get out of bed." Oh, sweetie, I have those days. But I'm glad that you came in for us today. And I want you to know that I'm thinking about you and you're not alone. And I know that you're going through a hard time, but stay strong, beautiful. It's going to get better. Everybody send positive, strong vibes to Miss Muffy today. Malta says to Leslie, "Hi, Leslie, and good morning. Is the sound of the stream working on your device? Please let me know. Thank you." Malta. Christy Piper says, "I'm seeing a sweet codependent man, but we got into a fight because he runs off when his borderline female roommate needs emotional support after making plans with me." Ooh. Any tips on how to deal? Yeah, step back 5 steps, Christy. That's a dangerous situation right there. And I don't know how long you guys have been together, but I'll tell you this much. If he's already leaving to go check on the borderline female roommate, that may continue to be his priority over you. And I'm just going to be really straight up with you. I get, that they have friendship or whatever it is that they have, but that certainly is not anything I would tolerate in a relationship. I mean, once or twice maybe, but if it's a regular thing, nah. I would take 5 steps back and let him choose his priorities before I get involved again. And then, yes. Shannon O'Brien says, "Hello, happy Tuesday." Happy Tuesday, Miss Shannon. And I'm glad to see you here today. Let's see. And Shelly Thomas is so sweet. She says her heart goes out to you. Stop the chaos. I totally feel you, Shelly. You're a sweet person, and you deserve more than what you're dealing with right now at home. I want you to hear me. I mean it. Sarah Dean says, Malta says, "Good morning to Muffy and Jessica." Tommy D says, "My narc is in this chat." Oh boy, really? Is that right? Sarah Dean says, "My ex took on my kids as his own, helped them with problems, and told me they were like his adopted daughters. But when I got discarded, he said he couldn't stand my kids. We were all struggling with this." Oh, sweetheart. I can actually relate to that a little bit in my situation with I don't want to talk about it right now, but I definitely understand how that feels. It's difficult and it's really horrible about your children. How long were you guys together? Can you tell me? Emily Driftwood says to Shelly Thomas, "It's like he knows he can't get me back, but instead settles for being malignant and making me suffer." Narc-hole. I like the word narc-hole. I think it's funny, but it's right. It's true. What else does he want? He already tried to destroy me. Round 2 is not happening. Damn right, Emily. Don't take it. You are in the right frame of mind, and I'm really proud of you for standing up for yourself. Really, really proud of you, Emily. Stay strong, my love. Andrea Sanders is here. Saunders? Let me see. Andrea Saunders. How you doing, girl? She says, "Hi, Angie and everyone." Good night is here. Oh, that's great. Good night says good morning. I got away from my narcissistic wife, but she is defying court orders to allow me to see the kids. You were not kidding. Divorcing a narcissist is very difficult, but I'm free. I'm so happy that you're free. I'm so sorry that she's messing with you with the kids. Don't give up. Okay, listen, kids need their father, and especially if you're dealing with a narcissistic wife or ex-wife, soon to be, you, my friend, need to be there for your children. Maybe you can help save them from becoming narcissists or one of us. Show them what a healthy relationship looks like. You've already started to do that by showing them that you were not going to stay around and put up with the abuse. So I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you that you're free. I want you to not give up on your children. No matter how no matter how hard she tries to make you do it, I want you to document every time she doesn't allow you to see them, and I want you to make sure that you take that to court with you when you go to court next time, and say, hey, I was supposed to see the kids these days, because she can get in trouble for not, for defying court orders. That's against the law. So make sure you're doing your part. If you're supposed to pay child support, pay the child support. Do all the things you're supposed to do. Okay. Leslie Davis says it's just my connection. Okay, honey. Carlita Vega says, I had to ask the narc to pick up one of the children from school. He asked to pick him up more. Hasn't helped with homework in 3 years. Should I respond or no? Still in court. No, I would talk to your attorney, Carlita, and I would not respond directly to the narcissist. I would have your attorney deal with it. If he hasn't helped with homework in 3 years, that's a problem. I think it's good if he really wants to pick him up more often, but that could be a tactic. I suggest that you talk to your lawyer and ask your lawyer what he or she thinks and what he or she would recommend, because if you're still in court, you don't want to do anything. He might just be doing it for the sake of court so that he could maybe pay less child support or whatever, or mess with your head more. I don't know. I guess I have to ask questions about that, but I would talk to your attorney. Tommy D says paranoia may destroy you. Yeah, that's the truth, but don't focus on that, my friend. SD says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss SD. How are you doing? I'm happy to see you back today. She says, good morning, everyone. I'm having a lot of anxiety. I believe my narc husband is about to abandon me. Long story, but the whole thing is so full of lies. It's unbelievable. If you believe that to be true, SD, then do what you need to do to be prepared. Okay, so if you have access to the bank accounts, move the money. If you have access to the home, change the locks. Be proactive about it, or be prepared to change the locks if he abandons you. It could be a blessing in disguise. Are you scared? I guess I need to know more of the story. Nick Bro says, no contact for over 4 weeks and my phone bill isn't paid, and he still gets through, leaving me messages. I'm not your adversary. Why do you run? I used to not let you leave before offering money. Weird. Nick, I'm glad that no contact for over 4 weeks is going on. I don't know how he still gets through. Can you block him from your phone? Would that be a possibility? Do you guys have children together? Remind me, I can't recall. I remember talking to you about this before, but I can't remember. Stay strong. If he's leaving you the messages, save copies of them if you can for court if you need it. But I'm guessing it sounds to me like a hoovering attempt on his part. Malta says, thank you, Leslie, for letting us know. Christy Piper says to Tina Martin, yeah, may as well start a narc survivor in-person meetup group and advertise it in online forums like this group. We don't advertise here, my friend, but I appreciate your concept. I appreciate the idea. Malta says, good morning, SD. Good morning. Emily Driftwood says, Tommy D, the observe, don't absorb thing is so hard to do. I wish I could do it all the time. How do you manage it? It's a process. It takes time, but it's very similar to Gray Rock. Yeah. Shannon O'Brien says, I sent in to sign up for SPAN last Wednesday or Thursday, but haven't received an email yet. Okay, Shannon, my guess is that for whatever reason you were not accepted. It might be because you had an empty profile, or they didn't, they couldn't verify that it was legit. In this case, if you would send me a message on Facebook, either to my page or to my personal page, I will be happy to make sure you get in. And just let me know you're Shannon O'Brien from YouTube. Okay? Carlita Vega says, I filed contempt that the homework wasn't being done and that he should have them on weekends only. Well, then, Carlita, stick with it. That's my advice. And if anyone has other advice for Carlita, pop it in the chat here. Jessica Rangel, and like I said, Carlita, talk to your attorney. Do not, or whoever you're working with on this, do not directly deal with the narcissist on this. My personal advice. And again, If anyone else has advice for Carlita, please share it with her because I'm not an attorney and I don't think Jillian's able to type today. I think she's probably on her way to work. Jessica Rangel says, custody war with the narc, married the paralegal. Oh, holy crap, helping him. He married the paralegal helping for him. He demanded exo parenting classes only to not show up. She's in a nightmare. She says he never cared for the kids. He's very abusive, pretending to be a good dad. Sweetie, I have experienced a very similar thing. My ex never attended the parenting classes that were in fact required by law in our state. I did. And I was like, well, I don't even really need to be here, but okay. And I went and I knew all the things they said, you know. He didn't. He should have gone, but he didn't go. That's okay. Maybe you'll get lucky and I'm guessing the custody war has to do with the paralegal wanting to have a little, just add water family. And I feel really frustrated by that situation for you. And yeah, I would make sure that you're documenting all of the things that are happening. And also don't be afraid to stand up for yourself in court and say that he abused you. And don't be afraid to point out any abuse that occurred around or to the children, because those things matter in custody agreements. It sucks that he married the paralegal because I'm sure she's twisting everything just to fit her particular brand of whatever, she thinks the judge is going to do. I'm so sorry, honey. Maybe Jillian, if she's here, she can offer some advice, or you can tune in when we do our summit and ask her some questions about this. She may have some better advice than me on this. Bonnie says, other side of the mountain. I love that. Ain't it a good one? Yeah. Electric is back. Hey, Electric. She says, hi, Angie. The ghosting vid was amazing. Thank you. My pleasure, honey. I'm so glad it was helpful for you. Tommy D says, stand firm, Nick bro. You are doing good, honey. Yep, I totally agree. Tina Martin says to Christy, yes, there are already some active. Yeah, there are some active ones for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Ms. Lily is here. Hey, Ms. Lily, how you doing, honey? She says, good morning. Good morning, Miss Lily. Travis Durham, my new Facebook friend, is in the house. How you doing, Travis? Says, good morning, Angie and family. I'll tell you guys, Travis is a very talented poet, and you will be hearing some of his poetry from me in the near future. Stay tuned. Robert Brown is here. Hey, Robert Brown, how you doing? He says, I love your show. I've learned a lot from your channel. Keep doing what you do. You are helping a lot of people. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, Robert. I really appreciate that. That's very important to me. Thank you. Cayenne Campbell says, Shelly, same here. I understand. I dated another narc a year after my divorce, but I left immediately after I realized it. Funny thing is that he tried calling me yesterday, even though I blocked him. Yeah, I feel okay. I've seen this happen. I think I may have mentioned to you guys, my husband had some person calling him over and over, and I asked him to block this person from his phone, a man. It wasn't anything sexual or anything. It was just this ex-friend, I guess. And he did block him, but then it turned out that he would still get notified that he had called, and the guy was still able to leave messages. So I think what you have to do if you're serious about it is contact your phone company and have it so that that person can't even dial your number. Of course, nowadays they could just go to the store and buy another phone, for $40 or whatever and call you anyway. It's very frustrating, but just do the best that you can to avoid contact, and eventually they get tired of trying and they give up. Eventually. Yeah. That's frustrating, Cayenne. I'm so sorry to hear it. Julia Richardson says, I'm here because of my NPD mother. I've struggled a lot with persistent depression and BPD. I'm trying to turn it down. Julia, I have experienced one of those women myself, my own, and it is very hard. It is so hard when it's somebody that gave birth to you, or somebody who's raised you since birth, because it's literally, they basically, kind of raise you believing things that aren't true about yourself. It's very hard, and about them and about life in general. And it's very hard when you finally recognize what you're dealing with and you start to try to figure it all out. Suddenly, for me, I was realizing all of these preconceived notions that I had that weren't even my own. And that's exhausting, the constant realizations that things that you believe to be true weren't true, etc. The other side of it is, that you certainly, you consistently, Julia, if I remember correctly, are you still around your mother or have you gone no contact? I feel like you might still be around her, and if that's the case, it's even harder to get through it. Um, it's normal to struggle with persistent depression in this situation, and the BPD maybe more of a side effect of what you've been dealing with your whole life than you think. Just saying. CPTSD sometimes looks like bipolar to people who aren't educated about it. And I know that you're talking about borderline, and maybe that's the same deal there. You know what I mean? But either way, um, I suggest that you start to focus on, you know, figuring out all those things that you believed that weren't true, that you believed were true but weren't true, but you were programmed by her. Work on the deprogramming is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And also, again, just like I said to someone else earlier, look for ways to follow your passion. You've been taught your whole life not to really share your feelings, not to express yourself, and there might be something inside of you that's just dying to come out, and it might be the time for you to do it. So just think about that. All right, I'm going to answer one more, and then I'm going to have to get out of here because I will be back at 1 p.m. Central Time, and I've got lots to do today. So let's see here. Christy Piper says, Jessica Rangel, you can likely report that paralegal. Oh, hey, Jessica, listen to this. Christy knows what's up. Christy, do you have, Christy says, Jessica, you can likely report that paralegal to the Bar Association and get that law firm in trouble. Very unethical of them. Jessica Rangel, listen to what, I'm going to say this one more time from Christy Piper. You can likely report that paralegal to the Bar Association and get that law firm in trouble. It's very unethical of them. I agree. Thank you, Christy. That is great advice. Jessica Rangel, I hope you heard that. Nick Bro says, just when I get to thinking about everything horrible he does, he calls Shelly Thomas. What? Just when I get to thinking about everything. Oh, okay. You're just telling Shelly Thomas. I got scared for a minute. Okay. Just when I get to thinking about everything horrible he does, he calls. I hope you are safe. Mine physically attacked me and they don't change. I believe you and Shelly may be in the same boat, Nick. Please be safe, both of you. Carlita Vega says, Jessica Rangel, I'm going through the same thing. Fight, and record everything. Preach. I totally agree with Miss Carlita as well. Tina Martin says, hey, Travis. SD says, Malta, good morning. Nick Bro says, hi to Shannon O'Brien. Okay, this is the last one that I'm answering. It comes from Andrea Sanders. I want to say your name wrong every time, so sorry. Andrea Saunders, who says, I saw a post the other day, and my ex-narc's new supply commented on a post. I saw and she said she needed God to work some things out for her. I guess he's at it again. Probably so, my friend. You see, and this is the thing. They don't change, even when they get a new supply. Somebody commented on one of my videos yesterday, and they said, I don't believe this stuff anymore. My narcissist left me for somebody younger. She's just better than me for him. And, he loves her the same way he used to love me, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't believe that he's a narcissist. Look, I'm not saying I know for sure the dude's a narcissist, but I am saying this. If you've been with somebody, she said they were together 20 years, not married, but together 20 years. And he's 55 and the new girl's like 23 or something. Okay. First of all, that dude could be her father. Secondly, that is not just her being a bad person. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't believe that somebody leaves their spouse or girlfriend of 20 years for somebody, obviously the dude's having some kind of a midlife crisis or something. But, the way that she's taking it is very unhealthy. She's like totally blaming herself for the whole thing. And I don't know if she's listening right now, but if she is, it's not your fault, girl. It's not your fault. Okay. Now I'm really closing down. Thank you, Malta, for handling that troll. And yes, guys, go ahead and yeah, Tommy, we can't talk about that in this chat, sweetie. If anyone needs it we can't do that. Okay, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read one more, and then I'm really leaving. Jamie says, oh, forgot to tell you, Angie had my second therapy session yesterday, and she told me I'm doing everything right. She told me I'm so logical and have tremendous insight. I was like, duh, Angie taught me. Oh, girl. Love you. Love you. So proud of you. So happy for you. Okay, now I'm really closing. Hugs and love to everybody. Malta, thank you for handling the troll in there. You're amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you today, and I want you all to know that you're not alone in the world. I want you to know that I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, and thank you for being a part of my day and my life. Thank you for letting me be a part of yours. Don't forget, I'll be back around 1 p.m. Central Time today for our second Talk to Me Tuesday session of the day. All right? Big hugs and love, everybody. I will talk to you all very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day until then.